Welcome to the channel of Sat Sangat Astrology. I'm back with another video. This time is going to be about both the solstice and the new moon in Cancer. I was originally going to do just the new moon, but because the solstice has already passed. However, taking a deeper look at the chart, I decided that I would like to share with you my interpretation of it. So, solstice, June 20, 2025, and the new moon, Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. So here we are. We all just heard news about President Trump declaring war by himself and attacking an independent nation, sovereign nation, on the grounds of some assumption. Again, the American people don't know the facts for real, and I doubt that the president knows the facts in reality. But here we are. We are at war again. In this video, then, I will speak about the sun in Cancer, which is the solstice, and also squaring Saturn in Aries and squaring Sun squaring Neptune, which is approximately where we are now. So the solstice is the maximum declination of the sun with respect to the Earth. And that means that for the northern hemisphere, we have the longest day of the year. In the southern hemisphere, they have the shortest day of the year. So in the northern hemisphere, we have summer, and the southern hemisphere, winter. So that is called the solstice. In astrology, it means sun at 0 Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal sign, and the cardinal signs are the base for the tropical astrology. So many argue that sidereal astrology is the true one, and however, you need to consider that these are two different astrological philosophies, if you like, because sidereal is based on the constellations, whereas the tropical astrology is based on the solstices and equinoxes. So this is the difference, and we cannot compare. These are two separate, different astrologies. So we cannot, they're different. So we cannot say one is wrong, the other is right, because that is not true. They're both valid because their base is different, and they're valid, both of them. Well, I practice tropical astrology, so I am based on the solstices and equinoxes, two of them every year. And here we have the chart for the solstice this year. And it's June 20th, 2025. I set it up for Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the states. And here we go. We have Pluto on the rising sign, and Aquarius rising. So this is already telling us there is a profound transformation of the United States. And remember, the Pluto represents death and rebirth. So, meaning that this transformation will go uh, over the next 3 months up until the equinox. Um, Very, I would say, Plutonian. I would say lots of death um, and rebirth, a transmutation of energies, right? This Pluto is in the third house of the country, meaning that it represents the union of states. So the siblings, what are the siblings in the case of a country? The siblings are the components. For some countries are states. For other countries are provinces, right? So this is what is transforming. There is a transformation in the union of states. So here we have also transformation of the neighbors. We will see how the neighbors will react with respect to how the United States is evolving and transforming. And in Aquarius is the sign of communications also. So Pluto in Aquarius in the third house, we can expect, especially in a sextile with Neptune, we can expect a lot of manipulation of reality. That's what Neptune and Pluto cycle is all about. So they started their cycle end of 19th century in Gemini. So we're talking about communications, everything that is spoken, journalism, media, everything that is communication. So, and we've had this sextile for 70 years already. Not sure, but since I think the first time was 52. So if we calculate 50, yeah, more than 70 years already. And we have seen the evolution of the media, journalism, and how it is creating the reality that we think, the reality that we believe in. So the mass media is shaping what people think. Moreover, right now, that is so widespread that every person on this planet has an intelligent device in their hands where they are constantly bombarded with information that, on top of that, is not only slanted, of course, but there are algorithms that are tailoring things to the way you, at the beginning, you started liking. So they assume that was the only thing that you believed, the only thing that you liked, and then the algorithm started repeating the same kind of ideas, the same kind of and this is what has made people so obsessive and so assertive, I would say, on their point of view, and have promoted and has created this polarization of the world. Those who are on this side and those who are on the other side. So, and this antagonism, where whereas people are never one extreme or the other, right? There are opinions, all the ways, all the shades of colors in the middle. So there is no only two positions, but assuming that, so media is assuming that you are either for or against, that you are black or white, that you are red or blue, etc., depending on where do you live. In any case, this Pluto rising is very dramatic for the United States. I think the repercussions will be monumental. The repercussions of what just happened with Iran will be extremely monumental for the country. And in general, the majority of people in America, in the United States, they don't want any more wars. So I think as I said, as I titled this video, a turning point of no return. And this is mainly a Pluto thing, something where you go to places where there's no return. Is just the deepest of the depths. So, so this solstice chart features the sun. Well, now it's 1 minute away of Cancer, but is in square with Saturn building, right? Just 1 minute away. And then a few days later, 3 days later, I'm recording this on Sunday, the 22nd of June, and it is, let's see, I don't have the time here. Do I? Yeah, it's 3:30 in the afternoon Central Time. So just for your record, but we have already this square in place. The square, we already passed the square with Saturn, and we are now in preparation or application to the square to Neptune. So this is a critical, very difficult square configuration, because this is a sun representing an authority that is blocked by obstacles, by fear, right? It could be someone blocked or paralyzed by fear. Is also the sun square Saturn means that there are delays, obstacles, restrictions, and now we need to consider that Saturn is in conjunction with Neptune. So it is a different kind of flavor for Saturn. For example, if Saturn represents discipline and boundaries and all that, Neptune dissolves them. So this is why this sun is so confusing, and on the one side is pulled by rules regulations, obstacles, and on the other side is also confused and misled. And there is a deception, lots of deception, and lack of purpose. And self-deception, right? The sun represents the self. Neptune represents the, the the deception. So there is a lot of frustration and this rigid attitude, but at the same time, this need to escape and there is also disturbances in the unconscious. So this authority who is leading any kind of organization, including countries, is not seeing clearly, is confused, is out of control, imagination, lack of discipline, lack of following the rules and the protocols, and any instructions are blurry and difficult to understand. So any kind of information this person receives is not clear. So on top of that, we have Jupiter square Neptune, which adds to this self-aggrandizement, Jupiter Sun, self-aggrandizement, this need to figure as the most powerful and the biggest one, right? Jupiter is the biggest planet, and it represents expansion, it represents growth, it represents abundance, right? And the sun in conjunction with Jupiter is always associated with an inflated ego, someone who wants to be, in this case, they're both in Cancer, even though here on this chart that I didn't realize that I was missing 1 minute and it's still in Gemini, but they're both in Cancer. And Cancer is the sign of home, the hometown, the home country, what we feel home, and also represents the safety of the home. And Sun, Jupiter, this inflated ego that feels that is so patriotic and so defending the country, and at the same time is delusional due to the fact that Jupiter is in square with Neptune. So there is a lot of delusional thinking, delusional action, delusional beliefs, unfortunately. So we also have the moon at 0 degrees of Taurus. The moon is, of course, very happy in Taurus, is pleasure seeking, and is cohabitating with Venus, the planet of pleasure and attraction and romance and love. So these two are very happy in this sign. So we have at the same time already forming this small grand trine, about which I have written a very extensive historical research article in my blog, satsang@astrology.blogspot.com. And Mercury is coming, you will see in the new moon in Cancer chart, is coming towards an opposition to Pluto, which will make for a basket configuration. I hope you can see it in the next chart I'll show you. But before we do that, I want to show you the map for the solstice chart over the United States, and how Pluto, this is a black line, represents Pluto, and how Pluto on the ascendant, as you saw it on the chart, and Uranus on the IC, which is the immune coelo, which is the bottom part of the chart. And they cross Uranus, Pluto, they cross right in front of Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. So this cannot be more perfectly associated with the events that just developed. So it is very representative of a sudden, unexpected, out of the blue decision to bomb someone else, another country, and show off the power that this country doesn't have anymore. So because countries that behave this way are actually are fearful of their losing power. And we know that the United States, unfortunately, to say, has been losing power since, let's say, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, has been on the decline. And we see now, for example, the debt, the foreign debt is $36 trillion. And Congress is discussing another budget that will even increase that. So the decline of the United States is so obvious that it's impossible to deny it anymore. So now, unfortunately for the people of this country, this decision that was taken yesterday to go against Iran, I think it will bring very, very unfortunate consequences. So here is the map of the same solstice over Iran. And you have Saturn and Neptune at the midheaven. And if you read my article in my blog, satsangatAstrology.blogspot.com, regarding the conjunction Saturn and Neptune, I did a historical investigation, and the only time that they joined at 0 degree perfectly in Aries in history was in 4,361 and 62. And they joined 3 times at 0 degrees. The 3 times were at 0 degrees of Aries. So, and I invite you to read that, because this country of Iran has a lot to do with what I found for that conjunction. So, in reality, this Saturn, Neptune may mean the vulnerability of borders. It may represent invasions. It may represent the diffusion or destruction of boundaries. Who knows what is going to happen next? But certainly their frontiers, their boundaries were violated by the United States. on the assumption that Iran has nuclear weapons or very close. So no data, no facts were supporting that information, because all the scientifically supported information said that they didn't. So we'll see what data, what facts the government will show to the people in order to justify what they have done. And as I said, the consequences. So Cancer, new moon, June 25, 2025. Now we have also, I set it up for Washington, D.C. It happens at 6:31 a.m. And we have Saturn rising. So there is Saturn, fear, restraint, constriction, everything that Saturn represents, mourning, grief, death also, because Saturn traditionally was associated with death. And if you look at the chart, the planet that's facing clockwise, the biggest space, empty space in the chart is Pluto. So no matter how you look at this chart, it's always the events start with a powerful transformation. For whom? For the people, Aquarius, for the people in general. And also profound transformation in the communications, in the news, and everything that is communication, but also technology, science, and the marketplace. Aquarius traditionally is associated with the marketplace. So, and how the events finish? Well, with Mars in Virgo. Mars in Virgo works to repair, to fix, to heal. So it's the energy that we use in order to make things right, to make things perfect, to clean the mess, to organize and put things in order. So we start with this demolition and bombing, and we finish having to use our energy to clean up the mess. That's the configuration on this chart. Now we have the moon and the sun in Cancer, and we're starting a new lunation, a new lunation cycle. And this is all about finding safety, finding protection, a place we can call home. We are looking desperately to find a place where it can be in peace, at peace. We can live like a home, a family. And this can also highlight the home country for whomever, right? Everyone on the world is looking to protect their own home country. And the moon, of course, is in her own house of Cancer. And they are both with half a degree apart from Jupiter. So this moon, this new moon, even though is invisible because it's under the sun rays, and Jupiter is also invisible, Mercury is also invisible. So this new moon has this component of growing patriotism, growing this need to find peace, to find safety, to be protected, protection. But what happens is that it's still in square with this Saturn Neptune conjunction by 2-3 degrees, or more is more under the influence of Neptune. So this is a new moon that starts with a great confusion. On the other hand, other people could be very delusional, thinking that they can be safe, and then there is peace, and there could be very good shelter, that they will find protection. That's all delusional. After this decision that was taken, no one is safe in the world. No one is going to have peace. So this is, we are in danger. However, Mercury is also applying to the opposition to Pluto. And if you take a look, this opposition will be the brim of the basket. And we have a trine to Pluto to Uranus that pretty soon will be in Gemini, and another trine Mercury with Saturn Neptune pretty soon as well, and the 3 sextiles. So this is a basket. A basket configuration actually helps to negotiate this opposition. And this opposition, Mercury, Pluto, that will be perfected, let's see, Mercury opposing, will be perfected at 3 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, the 29th. So, of course, it is a very tense aspect. Mercury in Leo wants to burst out its truth. Pluto, on the other side, is imposing their power to control what this Mercury wants to say. And Mercury in Leo is center stage, wants to perform the truth that is bringing out, and Pluto on the other side is imposing fear. It's imposing the power, the control, the manipulation. So these days we need to be very careful. If you are following the news, very careful what you believe. And if in doubt, make sure that you watch information from both sides of the aisle, I would say, so you know what the other party is saying, even though you also listen to the channels that you follow. But make sure that you compare and contrast and take notes and understand fully and deeply, because this Mercury in Leo opposite Pluto can really go down the rabbit hole to look for the truth, because it's an aspect of investigation, of digging deep, even though there is pressure. And of course, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, the sextile at the bottom of the basket, is helping. So you can use those other channels, planets, or those other planets, in order to find the information that you need. So be very, very careful on what you believe. Make sure that you look for facts and from reliable sources. Okay. So this is the Libra waxing square happening July 2nd. And as always, the waxing square is where all the action comes. And it's the moon is opposing Ceres. Ceres has been associated, is the biggest asteroid. Sorry, I'm drinking on tea. So Ceres is the biggest asteroid, and it represents in mythology. It represents the goddess of harvest. Is associated with cereal, with food. In the natal chart, the people represents the ways that we like to be nurtured. So Ceres in Aries, we like to be nurtured by recognizing our identity, recognizing who we are, where we belong, in recognizing that we are capable of initiating action. So, so this opposition is the moon is in Libra, a sign of relationships. So here we have a T-square, of course, because the sun is at the apex. And this represents the need to find balance, to find harmony, the need to work for peace, and at the same time being recognized as our needs being recognized. But also Ceres has always been associated with the um, with it was the goddess that accompanied the death to their final destination. So that's another way to interpret it. So keep in mind that Aries is the sign of war. Mars is in Virgo, as I said, working to repair, fix, clean up the mess. And Venus, the ruler of this waxing square, is with Uranus. So this waxing square may be finding or looking for peace and for balance and to establish a relationship of equal give and take that is different, that it may be something new, a new way of relating, a new way to be in a relationship. So both Venus and Uranus are in the decan of Capricorn, which may represent the government making those agreements, those different kind of agreements, or institutional, for example, institutional agreements or peace treaties and such. So I really appreciate your following my channel and visiting my channel, and I would like to ask you for your support by giving it a like and sharing the video and asking questions. Thank you for visiting. And if you are interested in a personal reading or astrological interview report, don't hesitate to write to me at this email on the um, on the screen. PUKAVYPORA@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Cancer.